Welcome back in. This is the 2-minute drill. Parker and Steve for Lincoln Journal-Star and HuskerExtra.com. More coverage, more insight today into the ongoing active NCAA investigation into Nebraska, which is about the use of analysts. It's interesting because Brett McMurphy's report, there was a lot of elements to it. The only true, new ground, it's not to diminish McMurphy's reporting at all, he's a really good reporter, is the investigation itself into the analysts, but it doesn't seem like that is the part of the report that's sort of drumming up the most conversation. It's sort of an interesting juxtaposition. The analyst thing is, every program in major college football has sort of a fleet of analysts, graduate assistants, people who are consultants, off-field roles, and they all sit in meeting rooms and video rooms and cut up film and do schematics and all of that. They just can't coach on the field. Now there's video that the report says that the NCAA has extensive video of practice, and so we'll see sort of what comes of that. The rest of it, it's a little bit harder to judge where that's going, right? Right. The stuff about the Oklahoma game and the stuff about the practices last spring that Nebraska held, or that Nebraska players held off campus.
Right. There's not an NCAA investigation on the practices during the pandemic.
Right. Yes.
Frost commented on those.
Yeah.
Which he can't comment on something that
is being actively investigated.
Right. So that, we'll see where that goes. Maybe the NCAA would jump in on that now. As far as the Oklahoma thing goes, it just all feels like somebody's kind of trying to get at the head coach, and do it through a media report, which is, I guess, it's not the greatest thing. Of course, you wonder about this being a distraction, maybe not to the players. I don't think the players are necessarily distracted by this. You wonder about the coaching staff, in particular the head coach. I don't know. Some guys are better equipped to push through this sort of thing than others.
Did it surprise you that a year after, we talked to Frost about those practices in the spring more than a year ago, last June, and he said at that time that reiterated today it had been approved by compliance and all that, athletic department compliance and university compliance.
Yes.
Does it? Now again, it could have been approved, and then if you veer off the plan,
right?
We don't know how that played out. Obviously, does it surprise you that element of it is back in the news a year later?
Well, the timing is curious to me, right? What will we 9 days away from the opener? Yeah. Nebraska looks like, it feels good about where it is as a program. They haven't had any injuries. All I'm saying is the timing's curious. Can I just say that?
You can say that.
Yeah, it feels a little curious to me that it would crop up right now.
Yeah, the Oklahoma thing, that Frost's role in that, compared to Bill Moose's role, that's been reported on, at least to some degree, not the full extent of what McMurphy said, which is categorically that Frost was the one that wanted out of that game.
Why is that brought up now? It wasn't even brought up in Indianapolis in late July when Frost was at media. Big Ten media.
It's also something that, to some degree, now again, it's not to the extent that McMurphy reported on it, but it has been covered in the sense that Frost said he wanted to look into alternates to having a bye week one. Now, sort of like you said in the 4 downs, the extent to which you believe that is going to vary person to person, but it's a very interesting day at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, interesting in some ways and not that interesting in others. How about that?
There you go. That's the 2-minute drill. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of all of it for you. For Sipple and Parker, thanks for watching.